Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to go through the data index in Customerio. It's a pretty simple interface, but at least you'll get an idea of what the purpose is and how to use it. So you get to the data index by coming on the left hand side. It's under data and integrations, and it's the first option, it's data index. Within the data index you have essentially two tabs. You have an attributes tab and events tab. And the data index shows you all of the properties or events that happen within your database. So one thing to keep in mind is that the data index is not a management tool. There's nothing that you actually do. I view it more as a research tool or maybe a quality assurance tool, just to get a good idea of what's going on within my workspace. Sometimes I use it to troubleshoot. Sometimes I use it just to validate that things are happening the way I want it to. So you don't actually change or edit anything. That's one unique thing about Customerio. Fields aren't built in like a settings window. You actually just do it from the contacts record, and if you create a new attribute on one record, it's available to the rest, and it only shows up if that contact has a value for it. So it's a little different than what you are usually used to. But you can see I have all these attributes, and if I come over here, I can see the events. This is a small test account that I have, and so I don't have an app tied to it. So the only thing that shows are forms. But all of your streaming data would come in here. And you can click into an attribute, and then it'll give you a lot of information around the usage of that attribute. It'll tell you how many people have values for this, and if you click into it, you will get a list of those folks. It creates the filter for you. It shows you all of the segments that attribute is being used in, as well as the campaigns that the attribute is directly used in. And then it'll also show you recent activity. And recent activity for attributes simply means if the value was changed. So you can see in this example here in the bottom that this record was created. The created at attribute changed from null, or no value here, to this value here, which it recognizes as a date stamp. Events are pretty similar. The recent activity will show you the last time that event occurred regardless of the user, so it'll be a consistent stream. Each line here, which I've grayed out, is a record or an email address. It loads in the JSON payload for that event, and you can see all the parameters that come in. Again, you can see the segments, the campaigns that use that, how many people have performed the event, and you can even send a test event. So if I wanted to do that, I can search for my own email. It pulls up my record. I can select it, and I can add some of the additional data like the JSON payload. I can write it in code, or for non-technical folks, there's more of an interface. So I'll select my email address, and then I can send the event. My record now shows. Again, it doesn't have a payload. I didn't specify any attributes, but there you go. So that's the data index. That's all there is to it. You can't edit any settings, but use it as a quality assurance or tracking or troubleshooting mechanism, and it helps you make sure that everything you're running works the way you want it to. Good luck.